Hi, everybody. So I'm going to sing a song for you guys right now, and it's a song that I wrote. I want to say a few words about it before I start singing. The song came to me, the words and basically the music came to me very spontaneously a number of years ago, but I've been self-conscious about sharing the song publicly. Musically, it's different. You're going to see how it's kind of different, and the words are kind of like my personal vision for humanity or life or whatever, and so it's very idealistic, and so I guess I'm a little self-conscious about that. Feels kind of naive to think this way and share this with people, and just as you see me up here today singing, and then later with the band, and then later with Michelle, I might get kind of emotional. It's kind of unusual for me because I'm usually pretty stoic, but just letting you guys know that I'm a little vulnerable lately. So here it is. And thank you. I'm trusting y'all. It is said that music soothes the savage beast, though in truth it is the savage breast. Indeed, it is the heart that beats within us each, who is the beast that needs its savagery soothed. So even as the song of Orpheus placated Pluto, may this song now soothe the soul who listens, inspiring each to love and let live, laying down arms, each doing as we will, yet harming none, beating our swords into plowshares, not lifting swords against each other. Oh, and making war no more, making war no more, making war no more. Oh, and making war no more, making war no more, making war no more. Love is the law. Love is the law. Lions and lambs shall lie together and live in peace. All living things in light and love, in love. Even the mountains will echo with song, with song. Even the trees will dance for joy, a joy, a song that lasts forever, 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 and ever.
This is a poem I wrote in 2019. I like to write poetry, and this is my husband's painting called Remembering the Light, right, love? I'm searching for the sacred, and in the yearning I have stumbled. The chaos has interrupted my intentions, and just as a hurricane brews tempestuously, my anger burns rashly. If I'm not careful, I could cause a destructive trail, destroying myself in the process. And yet from the pit, you call to me. I hear you in the whispering wind. It blows gently around my body, soothing the wounded heart. I call out to you, and you answer me with the call of the wild osprey, swooping overhead with its mighty wings spread wide. As it protects me from the elements, the sea lures me into its crashing waves, and finally, the rage has been extinguished. I emerge from the waters a goddess, emanating light, love, and peace, as the breath of the Holy Spirit fills my whole being, and I am one again with my beloved. okay with you guys, we're just gonna take it easy down here. I don't like to do all the
A little
formal
informal.
kind of stuff like that. That's just not us. So what's love got to do with it? I kind of changed the title after a while. You know us, know me. I'm just like, maybe a little bit. What's up?
For the slideshow.
We just figured, what's love got? It's got to do a lot. You see that kid right there? Christian didn't know what hit him, right?
Yeah.
That kid, that's me. And I got my arm out like I was gonna, conquer the world. That's me. I don't even know how old I was. I put that little thing over my other sisters because, just in case. I mean, he's so cute.
1970s.
1970s.
That explains the socks.
Yeah. My kids are like, why did you want us to bring us to this whole thing? It's all kind of cringy. We're going to talk a little bit about our life and how we met and the struggles that we've had, our communication. It all has to do with being this great long-term relationship. Christian and I.
Define great.
Yeah. His mom told me not to, when I first started dating, his mom said, don't call him Chris. His name is Christian. And so I was like so paranoid and, afraid of her. So I said, all right. So even today, when I say Chris, I get all like freaked out. I'm like, Christian.
So let's go forward a couple of years here.
Actually,
okay, so that's how she looked. That's maybe a couple of years or year or two before we met.
Yeah.
Late high school.
Okay, see this
That's her best friend Irma.
my best friend Irma, we went to a little college party, and when I saw Christian, put your high school picture up, Chris, just like my dad, because my dad was a redhead. And he came in from playing, and he was playing Stairway to Heaven. I don't know what he was playing. And oh my gosh, it was like.
So let me give you a little more details of that. So
Yeah.
right after high school, just before I even went to my graduation ceremony, I was just, I was ready to be independent out on my own. So I moved into a garage apartment with a couple of other guys from high school.
Yeah.
And so I was in a band, and then we all also had like part-time jobs. Some of us were going to school and stuff like that. There was a lot of guys that would come and go, only like maybe 3 that officially lived there, but a lot of people would come and go. It's kind of like a party spot, And so, one time I had a gig, and I came home, and I was just kind of hanging out with the guys.
Yeah.
Or did you get there before me?
I got there before you. I was dating one of his friends.
Yeah, so she was actually on a date with one of my friends who would hang out with us sometimes.
That guy is gone now.
But as soon as she
when I saw
walked in,
Christian, I was like,
she changed her mind, and I was playing the guitar.
I told my best
And,
friend, that's the guy I'm going to marry that night. And
Yeah,
she goes,
I didn't know this.
you're crazy. You don't even know he can't even see his face. His hair's in his eyes.
This is how we looked at that point.
Yeah, and I was like, that's the
shortly-
guy I'm going to marry.
That's during our early dating period, and
He didn't even know.
the place Alfred's. It was a live music spot in San Antonio in the 1980s, and this would have been late 80s. And so we had a regular gig there, usually twice a week.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of considered like the house band.
Chris and I
So
sang together.
if any other bands played on the same night as us, we got to be the headliners,
Right.
and they had to open. So that's why I can tell everybody and be completely honest that Nirvana opened for us.
All right.
So
Nirvana came,
Of,
and
cour-
one
of course,
night,
of course, they made it famous, and we didn't.
I
But
told Christian back then, my boyfriend back then, I said, boy, those.
we were almost famous.
We told her like those guys are never gonna make it.
Yeah, that's what she
They
said.
were sweaty and sticky.
That's a quote.
They ruined their equipment. We're like, poor guys, And look at the name. Whose names are band Nirvana? And so,
So
who knew?
there was a spill on that photo, so I
Did
didn't
you
ha-
just
I didn't have
change
an
it,
accident on my.
He's so self-conscious of that.
It looks kind of
Anyway,
weird, but
just change it, love.
okay. So
And that's
that's a
us in
little. That's about the same time
college,
period, as we.
yeah.
That's my band T-shirt. Our band was called On the Edge, because the YouTube guitar player U2. Yes.
We have to keep going quick.
Okay.
That's the dress he fell in love with.
Got a little more serious.
He
We
really
were
wanted to marry
probably
me
about a
then
year
with
after.
that dress. Let me
Yeah.
tell you that.
So
Okay.
that was a dress that
Yeah.
convinced me.
Let me tell you, it was hard to get into it too.
So
Oh, that one.
this is probably I probably look the toughest in this photo
Yeah.
than what I really am.
Yeah, he was trying to put
Like
on
a tough guy
look
or
at that
whatever.
leather jacket.
Leather jacket and
Who
all that,
wouldn't
yeah.
fall in love, Oh my gosh, look how good I look there.
I could have been a member of Whitesnake or another 80s hair metal
Yeah,
band.
Man, me and Christian.
The friend of ours
That's
always
my
used to
college
say
swimmer.
that a friend of ours used to say all the time that every time we were together, like with other friends,
Yeah.
parties and all that, we just were like
We were
focused
in our
completely on
own
each
world.
other.
We were
yeah.
always looking at each other just in our own little world. I don't know.
But believe me, it was ups and downs because we would argue and we would, we had different, to this day, we have very different ideas about what life is all about.
That's right.
I think that we clash a lot on some basic things
Right.
like money and stuff like that, how to handle money. But at the same time,
See
we
my eye
always,
rolling?
we always manage to work it out, and it's like we don't give up.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of ups and downs over the years, so it has not been,
It has been.
it's not
good.
always just feeling like this all the
Right.
time.
When it's good, it's like this. When it's bad, it's like, I can't wait to win the lottery. I'm not even going to leave a note. I'm going to be out the door.
Yeah, I mean, we felt that way before. We both had, we both made some very
I'm out the
serious
door.
mistakes in the marriage, and
If Henry Cavill came, that's it for him. Doesn't matter. Oh, look
so
how
a
pretty
little
I
while
look.
later.
Look
so,
how pretty I look, Mira.
So in another song that we're gonna do in a little while, it says.
Whenever you see me, that's the way I want you to see me right there. Don't even look at me. This is the way I am.
So in another song we're gonna be doing in a little while, it says, I don't care if they cut my hair.
Yeah, I made him cut his hair.
All I want to be is by your side.
For 35
So-
years, he's got.
So you can see, I was the hair metal rocker guy, and you see, I was willing to cut.
I thought we should cut his hair. I don't know.
I was willing to cut my hair for her.
Be
So.
like a decent person. I don't know.
So this is short. She graduated, and then shortly after that, we were married. And I had not graduated yet. It took me. I was going to school mostly part time because
He's
I
on
had
a long-term plan.
I worked more, and so it took me longer to graduate.
Yeah. And Mira, look
There's
at
our
us,
winning.
all lovey-dovey.
And tell them a little bit about. We had a very traditional
Very
and
Catholic.
tacky,
I didn't have a debut, so I
Catholic,
thought this would be the next
Hispanic
best thing.
type wedding.
With with Hispanic culture, the debut is real important. So I figured, well, we'll just.
She
put
made her
this-
dad feel guilty. I
Yeah,
didn't get
so we had like a debut
quinceañera, so.
Look at Chloe.
Shell out for the
Oh my
wedding.
God. Can I get out of here? My kids want to get out.
Yeah, they're cringing real bad.
Can you please go to the next?
So here we are as a more formal wedding photo.
Come on, keep going.
Oh, she looks beautiful.
Oh.
And
I don't know.
so
I cut my hair. Now I cut my hair like a.
yeah, she cut her hair a little bit too.
I don't know. I was thinking.
So,
I don't know what I was thinking. Boy, when we're in love, let me tell you.
So she
it's
got
just-
her. She got
Isn't
her.
that like with everybody though? When you're in love, it's like, oh my gosh, you can't see anything else
Yeah,
but the other partner. They can do no wrong and everything.
But by this point, we had already been together 2 years. So we were together dating for 2 years before we got married.
Yeah.
And then hold on a second. I'm going to say something real quick. So she got her wedding dress from the famous store. If
Oh my
anybody,
God.
I don't know if anybody remembers this place, La Feria. It was it was
There's a
like
whole
one of those.
combination.
You could get tuxedos, you could get wedding
Less
dresses,
than $300.
prom dresses, and all kinds of stuff like that. And it was in San Antonio.
Even in the wedding party with the hallway, the guy goes, if you let my son play, and we'll give you a deal on the hall. And it's
well,
called San Antonio Orchestra.
You pay one price for the
Yeah.
reception hall, and the band goes together.
And every time I would come up, he would be like, oh, here comes the boss lady. During the wedding
And,
part.
and so we had at our wedding cold barbecue and warm champagne was
Well,
was
also,
served. Yeah.
they had fed everybody else except for the bride and groom, and they gave us the end bit. So we're like, what happened, I mean,
Yeah, there was barely anything left for us to eat. All
Oh,
right,
that's
so
me and Maggie.
fast forward another 2
Aw.
years, our first daughter was born.
Yeah.
So I was 21 when we got married. She was 22, and then we had been dating a couple of years before that, and then so by the time we had our first child, I was only 23. She was 24.
Yeah.
And that's Megan. We couldn't find any digital baby pictures
Well, I could.
because Megan was born in '91,
They
so
were all on those.
she's already out.
rolls,
She's in her 30s and she's
the
on
ones
her
you have to
own.
develop.
Lives in San Antonio.
And when we moved, he threw half of those away. I'm still thinking about that.
They were like the disposable cameras. You're supposed to throw them away, right? I mean,
I don't know.
isn't it?
Oh, I love. We only have about 10 minutes.
All right.
I put the love between. I like that one. That's me and Maggie. But
All right. So then,
look at
our second
Cypress
one, Clove,
and Chloe.
was
yeah.
was a bit of a surprise because we didn't think we
Yeah.
could have any more. But Clove was 13 years after Megan.
Right.
And then we thought we were definitely for sure we're done after that.
Well,
and
you
then
know,
now Michelle
yeah, because
started
the
feeling
doctor-
poorly.
The doctor said, I told the doctors I couldn't have any more children. And I went in there and I was thinking, oh, I'm dying or something because, 3 months. And he was like, no, you need to come in there. And we saw the baby and the baby was sucking the thumb. I said, sure, that's not a cyst. And they were like, well, cysts don't suck their thumbs, you're 3 months along. And I couldn't believe it, you know.
So Alex was 6 years
after
after.
12 years, I was like, we didn't even know how to change a diaper after
you
that.
talking about when Clove
was
Yeah.
born, yeah. And so
Clove was a big surprise.
it was a big
but,
surprise. And then
Alex
we
was
had-
even a bigger surprise. So Alex came 6 years later.
He didn't even take me to the hospital when I was feeling bad. I had
This
to
is
take my
Clove
dad
and
to do it.
Alex.
And you know what? And then when I came back, I told him, he goes, "Oh, you have the stomach flu." And I said, "You better think again," you know? And he was like, he almost lost himself. He was on the stairs. He almost fell down. And I said, "We're going to be parents again." I made him take me out to dinner that night.
So I've been in education for 30 years, and then I've always also given like music lessons on, guitar lessons, and then later I started giving piano lessons on the side. We've always struggled financially. Michelle sometimes works part-time, kind of off and on. But it's been a priority for her to raise the children. And so it's always been a little rough for us financially.
Yeah.
I got into...
you have to make what you love a priority. And for us, our priority was our family, was being together. It wasn't me working 9 to 5, 9 to 10, at some corporation, It was about being with my kids. Because once they grow up, they grow up. And I just felt like, we had to stay together and do things differently. So that's why I say we're kind of free spirits that way. And sometimes Christian feels guilty about that. But you know what? Every family is different, and the communication. I wanted to talk about that and how we really loved each other, but then we also learned to love ourselves, And because if you don't
That's
love
important.
that's important. If
Essential.
you don't love yourself, how can you love someone else? You have to. And we both, Chris and I, come from baggage. Has anybody come from baggage? Do you have baggage? Or are you the Brady Bunch family? I don't know. But if you have something in your life, you have to deal with it. Unfortunately, I'm dealing with it in later life because mental health. There was such a stigma when we were young. They're like, you can't say nothing.
Mom would tell her not to
Anxiety
go to a counselor.
or depression, whatever it is.
Because they'll
But
say you're crazy.
I guarantee you now, you don't have to say that, Chris, but I guarantee you now, love yourself, heal yourself so that you can be whole with your partner and be in love with your partner. I want to tell you that 35 years, you can keep going to the next
Well, I
one.
wanted to say a little something
okay.
real quick, because this, like, you can see one of my paintings in the background.
Oh, what you want.
I've always been into music, painting. The next few slides, you're going to see that we've taken a lot of family photos at like cultural things like museums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We've always felt it was very important to have a lot of culture. We spend a lot of time at museums and things like that. So what were you going to say, Michelle?
Well, keep going, honey, because one of the things I want to tell everybody is
Those are all museum
Mira, I look real pretty
scenes.
there too. Remember me that way, kids.
There's a
everybody.
COVID photo.
I love this photo. This is like the Addams family. I don't know. We're all in black, and look at the little one putting her mask.
Putting the mask down.
She's a defiant one.
Rebel.
She's a rebel. No, she's fresh.
When she was born, she was bright red, like pink,
Oh, yeah.
pink skin, red hair.
Remember Chloe?
And very
She's all
feisty.
Angry. Chloe says she was an angry baby. No, she's precious. But look at all of us right there. That's just us. I love this picture. And there's another one that I want to show you too. That's just with Christian with the kids. It's all about connection, though. When you're talking about communication with your partner, it's like Christian says we've been married 35 years. I don't know.
We're married 33, but together 35.
Okay, whatever. Sometimes it seems like yesterday, sometimes in 100 years, but still. What you have to find is like a connection, something to connect you with your partner. And for us, it's a lot. It's music for us. It's sometimes we write stuff down. We're writing a book and
Poetry.
We write poetry together. We laugh at the same
Walks on the
jokes.
beach.
We walk on the beach. You have to find connection. If you want your love to last, connection is the key, and laughter.
Stay connected, but
Yeah.
there's sometimes I'm
Don't-
I'm a more introvert type, so sometimes sometimes you need a little break. You need to take some time for yourself.
Yeah. Heal yourself. Make sure that you're good with yourself and that you love yourself, and find connection. Don't sweat the small stuff. Sometimes we fight about what was the last
Big
time?
fights about small things that
Really
happens
stupid,
regularly.
I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? Have y'all ever thought about something stupid? You know, that's like, oh.
Years
didn't put
later, you remember the
count
terrible
on the
fight.
mayonnaise right. You
Yeah,
know?
years later, you remember the terrible fight, but you can't remember what it was about.
Yeah, it was something.
We have all that.
We all
It's like
I was going to say, can you say amen? But no, this is not that kind of church.
we're not
You know?
Baptists. We're not Baptists anymore.
We're not Baptists anymore. We've been through it all, man. Let me tell you. We're recovering. What did we call ourselves?
Recovering evangelicals,
Yeah, we're
ex-evangelicals.
We're recovering. We're in the recovery station.
But yeah, you know, we just
After 50 years, we moved here to Corpus, let me tell you
a
that.
lot of it is determination because we've had a lot of rough times,
Yeah,
but we just decided we're not gonna.
that's right.
Because I mean, you know, you split up and then it's okay. Now you're still with yourself, and then you're gonna find somebody else who's
Right.
messed up too, right? I mean, but I know it happens.
We're
you know,
going through
it's-
some rough
yeah.
times right now, but you know what? I tell Christians, we're gonna get through it, you know? It's gonna be all right, you know? One of y'all has to stay sane in the partnership.
Whenever we have
you
to
know?
move, change
If
homes,
somebody
jobs,
breaks
or whatever.
down, the other one's gotta, you know.
Yeah, stay,
Then
keep it
give
together.
the other person a chance to break down, then he's gotta. you
Whenever I
know.
have to change jobs or we have to move or whatever, that's I get real stressed out about stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Well,
It always turns out okay,
And we
but
eat a lot of chocolate. Oh, Mira, look at this. Look at this.
I think that's Sunken Gardens in San Antonio.
That's a sunken
We lived
garden.
most of our lives in San Antonio. We've only been in Corpus for 4.5 years. A lot of the stuff you see is
Yeah.
San Antonio locations.
In the beginning, I didn't want to stay here, but you know, I'm starting to like it, everything, you know, making some good friends.
We're here
people.
now.
Mira, look at this.
So we go to the beach
Yeah,
regularly.
we go to the beach regularly.
We haven't quite gotten tired of it yet.
No, we haven't gotten tired
Like
of
most
that
people,
one.
I guess, that live here.
I look a little thin there, too. I like that picture. Oh, look at
And
us.
the church involvement has been good for us. I
Yeah,
think.
I tell you what, I'm very blessed with this church because they allowed Chris and I to come and sing again. And y'all allowed us to come and.
We did
and-
music ministry in conservative
do
Christian
that,
churches
yeah.
for a number of years. And then it's like, once we got out of that, and it was kind of like, okay, do we want to start doing this again? There's always a lot of drama and politics, but I think over here, it's been mostly pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's been
We've
awesome.
enjoyed it.
Man, Hannah's
Um,
been wonderful.
It's more laid back.
The band, everybody, Django, I'm cracking up every time I come over. Diane Johnson, Bill Reed, Diane Johnson, gotta talk to that girl. She's
family that-
awesome.
The family
Now,
that protests
Francis-
together stays together.
I love you, Francis.
MLK March.
Remember that? We went over there, that my first MLK march with this church. Y'all got me to go on out there and I just love it. Let's see, I'll meet on my cake. I love chocolate cake. That's one thing, I do love chocolate cake. You wanna,
Keep that in mind.
yeah, keep that in mind. You wanna impress me, chocolate cake. But, let's see, is that it? Is that everything?
All right, so there's
Oh, this is
another.
my favorite
There's another
picture.
perfect family
This is
picture.
This is our Christmas picture, you know, because
Typical.
that one I love.
It's very
love.
typical, though.
That's a typical Withers family
It's
right
very
there.
honest.
Notice him on the phone.
I'm on my phone.
Yeah, notice that.
And notice the
I
one.
have got some,
Notice Alex on the right.
where's that?
Alex is the mischievous.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. And, but I just want y'all to take notice about the phone in case, you know, we have some discussion with later on. Let the record show, Chris.
Trying to cut down my screen time.
Yeah.
All right, so here's our. This is
Oh, I
our
love
extended
this
family
one.
that we have going on right now.
You know, this looks like Fleetwood Mac, right?
Yeah, well-
That looks like a 70s group.
So,
You
so
know?
we're there, and Alex and Clover there. Then their oldest daughter Megan is there.
Yeah, Maggie.
She's standing next to James, who has a little bit of a beard. That's her
Yeah,
fiance.
fiance-
And then
Riley.
Clove is with Idris,
Yeah.
their significant other.
Yeah.
And so that's like an extended. And Riley in the middle is James's daughter from a previous
I
relationship.
told Chris to look forward, but he was looking at somebody else.
So every time we've been with Riley, we've always tried to treat her like a granddaughter. You know, we think of her as her, step granddaughter. But we don't even think about step. It's just we
Right.
try to include her and everything, and so we're cool with all that. All right, so the next picture coming up.
What is it?
Okay, so take a good look at this one, and I want to see if anybody. I'll be impressed if anybody in the congregation is familiar with this album cover. This is a surprise for Michelle.
Oh my gosh, you put that in?
So look again here. And this was totally by accident. We did not plan the photo, but look, that I've known that album since my mom had that album when I was a kid, and I was like, when I saw that photo the first time, I was like, oh my God,
We've been accused of.
we look like the
getting called
Incredible
hippies.
String Band.
At different churches, they're like.
They were
"Oh,
basically
here comes the
like
hippies."
a mixture of Scottish and Welsh
We
hippies.
don't care.
and you know, very, very folky
Yeah.
type music. They're definitely an acquired taste, but
Yeah,
you ever-
that's-
that one's
I
called The
like that
Hangman's
one.
Beautiful Daughter, that album.
Oh, yeah, this one.
That's our mantra.
That's our mantra every day. We're gonna be okay. That's why I keep telling Chris, we'll be all right. Go ahead, my love. That's right. I say 33, but I think it's more than that now, right, Chris?
Well, we've been married, in August we'll be 34 years, so still 33,
33 years, yeah.
and
There's
35
no
since we
refunds
met
on
each
this
other.
one. That's it.
Work through things, determination,
Determination, love one another.
love yourself and
Love yourself.
love the other one, and you know, you have to try to work through things, don't give up too easy.
That's right. And when somebody's on the
Take time for yourself,
You
learn to
know,
love yourself
What do
too.
you call it when somebody's on the side of a
Talk over each other a lot.
right? When somebody's having, you know, a little anxiety, maybe I call him during the day and say, you know what, I'm looking on WebMD.
Yeah.
Don't look on WebMD.
When she thinks
I
something's
either
wrong with
have a
her,
brain tumor or it's a headache.
yeah, something's wrong with
I
her,
don't
I
know.
gotta be her support, and then every once in a while I have like a freak
That's
out.
what
like
love
a-
is, you know?
like a
Love is
breakdown
like
type
bringing
thing.
him down. No, it's probably just a headache. And I said, well, you know, I may calling MS. Don't do that because it's too expensive, you know, but it probably is just a headache. But anyway, you need somebody like that, you know, whether it's your partner, a friend. It's all about love, guys. It's all
Always
about
willing to
loving
deal with
each
your
other.
crap.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I
And
just
then
want,
they-
the last
you deal
thing I
with
want
theirs.
to tell y'all is that we love you guys. We love you guys. We love you so much. And thank you for allowing us to be here. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.